The mornings in Arizona are always filled with light. Even before sunrise, I had already begun my daily routine. Opening the curtains to let in the morning sun, the aroma of coffee wafting from the kitchen announces the start of a new day. The clock shows 6 a.m. My usual time. While watering the houseplants in the living room, I gaze at the Phoenix cityscape spread out beyond the window. A quiet residential area in the suburbs. It's been almost a year since we moved here due to my husband's job transfer. Alex, time to wake up. When I knock on my son's room upstairs, his response comes immediately. I can't help but smile at his sleepy yes. My 10-year-old son has his father's handsome features, but his personality takes after me. He's grown into a meticulous and kind child. At the breakfast table, family conversation flows as usual. Alex excitedly tells us about yesterday's baseball practice. Already the ace pitcher for his local youth baseball team in 4th grade at St. Joseph Elementary School. He's our pride and joy. Hey Mom, will you come watch my next game too? Of course. How could I not come cheer you on? After exchanging this promise, Alex heads to school, and I head to Liberty Insurance Company. I've worked there for 7 years as an insurance assessor, leading a stable life. Though my annual salary of $50,000 isn't much, we live a modest but happy life as a family of 3 in our 2-bedroom apartment in the Phoenix suburbs. Come to think of it, meeting Gregory was like something out of a movie. 8 years ago, at my friend Mike's wedding at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Phoenix. I was a bridesmaid, and Gregory was the best man. A chance encounter at the dance party. I was instantly captivated by his gentlemanly demeanor and intellectual charm as he worked as a BMW engineer. After dating for a year, Gregory proposed to me at an upscale restaurant. Our parents were thrilled about the marriage. We bought a house in the suburbs and began an ideal newlywed life. The first 3 years were filled with absolute happiness. Then came Alex's birth. Our family bonds grew stronger, Gregory got promoted, our standard of living improved, and we spent holidays going on picnics and watching baseball games. We had the perfect family. For the past 3 years, Gregory's work-related stress has been increasing. The promotion he was hoping for didn't materialize, and he gradually changed. With BMW's sales slump and departmental reorganization, his workload kept increasing. Still, he maintains his smart physique, always wearing brand-name suits, outwardly remaining the same gentlemanly perfectionist. As an elite engineer earning $120,000 annually, he continues to support our family. Our current life is very simple and orderly. I leave for work at 7 a.m. and return at 6 p.m. Alex goes from school to baseball practice, then spends time in after-school care. Though Gregory often comes home late due to work, Alex and I have dinner at 7 p.m., and afterward, we spend time checking homework and talking about the day's events. On weekends, we go to nearby parks as a family or enjoy shopping at the mall. When Alex has baseball games, we parents sit in the stands as his biggest supporters. Once a month, we have dinner with my parents. They're always looking out for us working parents and supporting us in various ways. I adjust my brown hair that reaches just below my shoulders and put on my suit. My reflection in the mirror shows a smile that doesn't betray any fatigue. Certainly, managing work, housework, and childcare every day isn't easy. But Alex and my husband's presence gives me the strength to live. On holidays, I cook with Alex or tend to the small vegetable garden on our balcony. I find irreplaceable happiness in these simple daily activities. We weave peaceful days within our regular rhythm of waking at 6 a.m. and sleeping at 10 p.m. May in Arizona was already embraced by early summer weather. The morning sun streaming through the kitchen window cast soft shadows on the new curtains. Today is special. It's Alex's 10th birthday. This day has always been an important anniversary for me too. I still vividly remember the joy of the day my son was born. I woke up 30 minutes earlier than usual and was carefully making my son's favorite buttermilk pancakes. The sound of pouring batter, the sound of butter melting, and the rising sweet aroma. Everything felt like a special morning ritual. As the maple syrup fragrance fills the room and I arrange blueberries and bananas like flowers, it looks just like something from a cafe. This is our special mother-son morning tradition that's continued since Alex was little. Each year, I research new recipes and add little variations. This year, I added vanilla beans to make them more fragrant. Happy birthday, Alex. When I opened his bedroom door, my already awake son jumped out and hugged me. Thanks, Mom. The pancakes smell amazing. At the breakfast table, Gregory's seat was empty. He seemed to have worked late again last night and left early this morning. While wishing he could at least celebrate his son's birthday together, I cherished this peaceful breakfast time with my son. Here's your present. Open it. When I handed him the box wrapped with a bright red ribbon, Alex's eyes sparkled as he unwrapped it. Inside was the latest model baseball glove he'd been wanting. A limited edition Rawlings, its soft brown leather gleaming in the morning sun. A month ago, he had been staring intently at it in front of the sports equipment store. Unable to forget the sparkle in his eyes then, I decided on this, even though it was a bit of a stretch for our budget. The smell of leather from the glove suggested the beginning of new memories. Wow! The new Rawlings. Mom, I love it. My heart warmed at my son's beaming smile. As I watched him head off to school, I was thinking about preparations for the birthday party in the evening. At 3 p.m., when Alex returned from school, his classmates Tom, Mike, and Jason came with him. The boys were excitedly talking about baseball around the chocolate cake I'd made. The living room was decorated with balloons and "Happy Birthday" letters, creating a cheerful atmosphere. Just as everyone finished singing and Alex blew out the candles, the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, there stood Gregory. Instead of his usual suit, he was wearing a dark blue polo shirt and black slacks, casual attire. His appearance was slightly disheveled, different from his usual perfect grooming. He was holding a large paper bag. The pure white bag with its luxury boutique logo seemed oddly bright, reflecting the room's lighting. I thought I saw a hint of urgency in his expression. Happy birthday, Alex. Our son jumped up with joy at seeing his father. Gregory handed the paper bag to him with a satisfied expression. Inside was a brand new limited edition Nike Air Max. These were luxury sneakers costing $400. It's a special birthday present. Do you like it? I'm so happy. Thank you, Dad. Alex immediately put on the new sneakers and ran around the living room. Gregory watched his son's joy with a peculiar expression. Though I had mixed feelings, seeing my son's happy face brought me relief. 3 days after that happy birthday, something concerning happened. "Alex, aren't you wearing Dad's present sneakers?" While preparing breakfast as usual, I noticed my son wearing his old sneakers. Something feels strange about them. What kind of strange? I can't really explain it. My son trailed off and didn't say anything more. As the baseball team's ace pitcher, he's sensitive about how his feet feel. I felt slightly uneasy. That night, when I returned from work, I was shocked to discover those expensive sneakers thrown in the garbage can in the backyard. What a waste. Such expensive sneakers. I decided to keep the sneakers for now. I thought I'd discuss it with Gregory over the weekend. The next night, Alex was working on his homework in his room upstairs. Only the soft sound of a news program from the TV filled the otherwise peaceful house. I was examining the sneakers carefully at the kitchen counter. Under the fluorescent kitchen lights, I ran my finger along the sole of the sneaker. Indeed, looking closely, the construction of the sole was different. Clearly different from regular Nike Air Max. Part of the sole felt oddly soft, as if there was some mechanism inside. As a BMW engineer, my husband would be capable of such modifications. Anxiety gripped my chest. That's when it happened. I suddenly sensed a presence behind me. The moment I tried to turn around, a violent impact struck the back of my head. My vision distorted, and consciousness began to fade. I think I heard faint footsteps and Alex's scream from upstairs. Then my consciousness sank into darkness. A white ceiling gradually came into view. The smell of disinfectant. The regular sound of dripping from an floor. A private room on the 3rd floor of St. Joseph's Hospital. About 2 hours had passed since the incident. Outside the window, Phoenix's night skyline glowed quietly. An ambulance siren wailed in the distance as another life was being transported to the hospital. When I regained consciousness, the first thing I saw was my son's sobbing figure. Alex was trembling beside my bed. His face, peering down at me with worry, shone with tear tracks. His usually bright sky blue t-shirt was now partly wet with tears. "Mom. Mom, please open your eyes." When I tried to move my right arm in response to that voice, a sharp pain shot through it. A young nurse in pink scrubs quietly explained that my right arm was broken, secured with white bandages. She said I also had a concussion and facial contusions. I could vaguely see in the mirror that the area around my left eye was swollen. An 4 needle was inserted in my left arm. Clear liquid was seeping into my body, drop by drop. In the corner of the hospital room with its regular beeping monitors stood 2 police officers in navy blue uniforms. Detective Johnson and Officer Page. They watched the situation with solemn expressions. Officer Page, in particular, would occasionally give me a gentle smile. A silent message saying, "You're safe now." A black gun gleamed in the holster at her waist. "Alex, it's okay. Mom's okay." When I finally managed to squeeze out these words, my son began crying even more intensely. Carol, the nurse, offered water, which Alex brought to my lips. The cold water moistened my dry throat. That's when Dr. Brown, in his white coat, told me that my son's quick thinking had saved my life. His words, "If we'd been 10 minutes later, you could have been in critical condition," made me shudder. What did Alex see then, and how did he act? The police interview revealed what had happened. My son, working on his math homework in his upstairs room, noticed a sudden noise. Worried about me, he quietly came down the stairs. Light from the kitchen leaked into the dark hallway. He carefully placed his feet along the wall so the wooden stairs wouldn't creak. That's when he witnessed an unbelievable scene. His father striking his mother. The sound of a metal bat cutting through the air. The sight of his mother collapsing. Terrified and frozen at this blood-draining sight, Alex instinctively fled back to his room. With trembling small hands clutching his phone, he took several deep breaths before dialing 911. "Dad. Dad hit Mom. Please come quickly." Though his young voice trembled, he spoke in a firm tone. The operator, with 16 years of experience handling emergency calls, later said she was deeply impressed by this 10-year-old boy's calm response. "Please tell me your address." 1234 Maple Street, Phoenix. The operator continued responding in her trained, calm voice. "We're sending police right away. Stay hidden where you are. You're very brave." "Yes. Please hurry. Mom. Mom is lying there." From the call to police arrival took just 4 minutes. But for Alex, it must have felt like an eternity. He trembled in his bedroom closet, praying for his mother's safety. In that dark space, he strained his ears, holding his breath, wondering if he'd hear his father's footsteps coming up the stairs. The police's initial investigation moved quickly. Officers Martin and Rodriguez, who were on patrol, were the first to arrive at the scene. In the kitchen, which became the crime scene, my blood stains were scattered on the floor. Red spots on white tiles. The metal bat used in the assault had been thrown beside the sink. Clear fingerprints remained on the grip section. The forensics team technicians, dressed in white protective suits, efficiently preserved the crime scene. They conducted blood pattern analysis using LED lights, collected the metal bat as evidence, and sealed the Nike Air Max sneakers in special bags as evidence too. After thorough investigation using digital 360-degree photography and black powder for fingerprint collection, the scene was strictly cordoned off with yellow tape for forensic investigation. And the decisive evidence was the security camera footage. The security camera mounted on a street tree in front of our apartment had recorded everything. Gregory breaking in, fleeing. Though he tried to hide his face with a black hoodie, his build and way of walking were unmistakably his. Furthermore, the fingerprints left on the sneakers perfectly matched his. 3 hours after the incident, Gregory was arrested in his apartment. Found sitting in front of his computer in his luxury apartment, he submitted to arrest without particular resistance. His BMW engineer title and brand name suit meant nothing now. Exercising his right to remain silent, he was put in a police car and headed to detention through the midnight streets of Phoenix. "Ma'am, don't worry." Veteran Detective Johnson spoke to me kindly. "Thanks to your son's brave action, we avoided the worst outcome. We have sufficient evidence. He will never be able to hurt you again." Alex was still holding my hand. In that small hand resided great courage. That hand was still trembling slightly. Mom, I was scared, but I was more worried about you. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. On this day, this 10-year-old boy grew up significantly. I gently stroked my son's head with my left hand. The soft touch of his hair. Tears rolled down my cheeks. They weren't tears of sadness, but tears of gratitude for my beloved son. You did protect me. You saved my life. Outside the window, night was deepening. An ambulance siren wailed again in the distance. Only the sound of the Ford drip echoed in the quiet hospital room, and the two police officers still stood guard, protecting us. Though the future held many uncertainties, at least for now, I was in a safe place with Alex. Nurse Carol came around again for another vital check. Your blood pressure is stabilizing, she said, and a sense of relief gradually spread through me. No matter what difficulties lay ahead, this mother-son bond could never be broken by anyone. As the monitor continued its quiet beeping, I gently squeezed my son's hand back. About a week after my treatment at St. Joseph's Hospital, the truth behind the incident gradually came to light. An unusual contract was recorded in the database at Liberty Insurance where I worked. The policyholder was Gregory Parker, the insured was our son Alex Parker. The insurance amount was $10 million. Additionally, there was a special clause that would pay double, $20 million, in case of accidental death. The contract date was just 3 months ago. Why had my husband suddenly taken out such a high-value insurance policy? Mrs. Parker, look at this. My colleague Jennifer pointed at the contract image displayed on the monitor. Gregory's flowing signature on the application. The annual premium was $120,000, almost equal to his annual income. An impossible amount considering our household finances. My insurance assessor's instinct raised alarm bells at this clearly unnatural contract terms. Meanwhile, the police forensics team's analysis revealed the horrifying modification to the sneakers. The sole of the luxury sneakers had an intricate dissolving mechanism built in. Designed to gradually deteriorate under walking pressure, it was set to cause sudden failure after about a week of use. This is undoubtedly an application of BMW's advanced technology. Dr. Thompson from the forensics team explained the test results. The special resin used in the sole is the latest material also used in car engine parts. These are all materials difficult to obtain in the general market. They were likely taken from BMW's research laboratory. Design drawings and test data for the sneakers were discovered on Gregory's laptop seized in the house search. It was evidence that he had misused his expertise as a BMW engineer to try to take his son's life. According to the plan, he intended to stage a stair accident at school to take Alex's life. He probably intended to make it look like a perfect accident, said the detective. With his knowledge as an engineer, he must have thought he could handle any accident investigation. But why did my husband devise such a cruel plan? The questions led to Gregory's hidden financial situation. By day, an elite BMW engineer, by night, a regular at gambling establishments. $5 million in gambling debts. Borrowing from illegal loan sharks, just the interest had snowballed. What began as gambling to cope with the stress of missing a promotion had dragged him to rock bottom. 1 week left. Get the money ready. Otherwise, we'll have to contact your precious family. The threatening message left on Gregory's cell phone. The debt collection from underground financial organizations was relentless. With no prospect of another promotion at BMW, backed into a corner, he made his final gamble. He tried to exchange his son's life for insurance money. Police interrogation revealed his perfect crime plan. On the surface, he was a hard-working husband and loving father. But behind that facade, he led a double life, plotting to take his own child's life to repay his debts. He tried to give his son the rigged sneakers disguised as a perfect birthday present. But why did he attack me? The detective's explanation was cold. He had been wary of the possibility that I, as an insurance assessor, might notice the suspicious contract. When he saw me examining the sneakers, fearing his plan would be exposed, he even resolved to kill me. His perfectionism became his trap. Detective Johnson sighed as he spoke. Such meticulous preparation for insurance fraud. He planned his son's death as precisely as if drawing engine blueprints. However, that very precision made the unnaturalness stand out. The data found on Gregory's computer. 6 months of experimental records. Test results with various materials. Walking pressure calculations. Stairway fall simulations. Everything was recorded with scientific precision. Behind all this, his relationship with a mistress was also discovered. The expenses from his double life had further cornered him. I can't believe it. Looking at photos of the data on a borrowed hospital phone, I steadied my trembling hands. In our 7 years of marriage, he was certainly a perfectionist, sometimes cold. But I believed he was a good husband and father who cherished his family. To think he would target his own son's life. Further investigation revealed the reality of Gregory's double life. Spending days as an exemplary husband with his family, nights meeting his mistress and visiting casinos. While accumulating debt, his desperate attempt to maintain his elite pride and appearances led to the heinous act of targeting his own child's life. Cornered by gambling and his affair, it was probably his last resort to avoid complete breakdown. The detective stated the facts matter-of-factly. But given this much preparation time, it wasn't a crime of momentary emotion. It was a planned crime targeting insurance money from the start. Ironically, his precision as an engineer gave birth to this heinous plan. The evening sky visible from the hospital room window was turning red. Looking at my sleeping son's face, I again felt grateful for his quick thinking and courage. If he hadn't noticed that strange feeling and thrown away the sneakers, now, just thinking about it sends chills down my spine. Mom, Dad won't come anymore, right? Alex woke up and looked up at me anxiously. I firmly squeezed his hand back. No, we're safe now. Thanks to you, we were saved. Now knowing the truth, anxiety about our future life wells up. But I believe we can overcome any difficulty as long as we have this mother-son bond. The Phoenix District Court courtroom. Autumn sunlight streamed through the heavy stained glass. The day of Gregory Parker's sentencing. Tension filled the courtroom. Gregory, dressed in a black suit, looked exhausted, unrecognizable from his former dignified appearance. The defendant, Gregory Parker, is hereby sentenced to 20 years in prison for attempted murder, assault, and attempted insurance fraud. The judge's voice echoed through the silent courtroom. Gregory remained expressionless, just looking down. During the 3-month trial, the full extent of his plan was revealed. The cold-blooded plan to kill his son and collect insurance money. And the assault on me for trying to stop it. Everything had been planned. As we left the courtroom, Alex squeezed my hand tight. "Mom, it's over now, isn't it?" I nodded deeply at those words. Indeed, one chapter had ended. But our new life was just beginning. We decided to move to the Scottsdale area in northern Phoenix, a safer neighborhood. A 3-story apartment with dazzling white walls. From the living room window, you can see the greenery of Papago Park. Although the rent is higher than before, the company agreed to provide a housing allowance. It's a 30-minute school bus ride to St. Joseph Elementary School. We had the option of changing schools, but my son strongly wished not to leave my friends. On moving day, we received unexpected support. Colleagues from work, parents from Alex's baseball team, and neighbors all gathered to help. They carried heavy furniture, hung new curtains, and organized the kitchen. Tears welled up in my eyes at this circle of warmth. "Linda, you're not alone." My colleague Jennifer gently embraced my shoulder. Indeed, we weren't alone. We had the support of many people. About 2 weeks after starting our new life, we began psychological counseling. The facility referred by the hospital had a warm atmosphere, even equipped with a playroom for children. Sessions with Dr. Wilson are every Tuesday evening. She helps heal our emotional wounds little by little with her gentle voice. Alex, too, through play therapy, gradually regained his smile. The bond between mother and son is very strong. Dr. Wilson often said that. Indeed, through this incident, our bond deepened even further. At night, I embrace Alex when he wakes from sudden nightmares, and he embraces me too. Supporting each other, we moved forward little by little. Community support was also reassuring. The baseball team coach welcomed Alex with special consideration. His teammates treated him just the same as before. On Saturday games, my cheering voice rings out from the stands. Alex's pitches were regaining their former strength. At work, my boss Mr. Thompson approved a flexible working arrangement. His words, "Please value your family time," showed deep understanding. Colleagues supported me with subtle thoughtfulness. The emotional wounds healed slowly but surely. There were still nights of tears. But when morning came, a new day would begin. Alex's "good morning" gave me the strength to live. One Sunday evening, we were sitting on a bench in the local park. Autumn breeze pleasantly caressed our cheeks. The voices of children playing on the equipment could be heard from afar. Alex had finished baseball practice and sat beside me, glistening with sweat. His profile in the setting sun looked strong. "Mom, it's okay now. I'll protect you from now on," Alex suddenly said. It was a voice with core strength that seemed impossible for a 10-year-old boy. "Thank you. You're my pride and joy." I hugged my son tightly. Warm body temperature. The heartbeat of a small life trying its best to live. The sunset stretched our shadows long across the park's lawn. From one shadow to two. And those shadows seemed to gradually merge together. In the sky, orange clouds drifted by. As if announcing the beginning of a new season. There will surely be difficulties ahead. But we're not afraid anymore. This mother-son bond will guide us. Holding Alex's hand tight, I was certain of that.